Today, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Something I've wanted to cover for a while now. Rather than discuss something within Dead Rising, let's instead turn our attention to something outside the game for a change. Here I have with me an item from my collection, and it's one of my favorite things in my collection. This is the official Dead Rising soundtrack CD, an absolute gem of merchandise for the game. Something that I had wanted to own for longer than I've been on YouTube, but yet it's something I only managed to obtain a few years ago. The reason is, Capcom didn't make that many of these, and you don't actually see them for sale every day of the week. Especially, I wanted to wait for one with its original little cardboard sleeve thing, which is something that a lot of owners of these have seemingly lost over the years. Eventually, I landed on this one. Not only did it include the original sleeve, but it even had the original packaging, as yes, this sucker was unopened. Now, it may have been sacrilegious for me to open it and take it out of its packaging, but it wasn't sealed by tape or anything like that. It's just 15-year-old glue holding it closed. The packaging was pretty important, as it turns out, as it's really the only thing that keeps the cardboard sleeve attached to the case. Without it, it just falls off, which is of course why these get lost so easily. The reason I care so much about this cardboard sleeve is that it actually has some pretty awesome printing on it. Of course, in the theme of Dead Rising. It has some little weapons randomly printed across it. It's kind of pointless, but it's a nice touch. But moving on to the actual CD itself, the cover art is actually a booklet that we can take out, which incredibly contains lyrics and artwork within it for the various songs. Included inside the booklet, as well as on the back of the case, is a track list of what's available on the CD. Strangely, Gone Guru is missing, but that was likely related to some copyright thing, so who cares? There's a lot of bizarre images that are just thrown into each page in the booklet, seemingly at random. Like on the 4th page, there's a portrait of Madonna the dog, for some reason. But I mean, yeah, there's not too much to say about the booklet, other than it's got a really nice aesthetic going on in here, with the lyrics over top of some awesome renderings and mall screenshots. It's fantastic. The CD features this honestly stunning looking design. It's a diagram of the mall's map, printed in this really nice blue color with the Dead Rising original soundtrack in silver above it. Capcom, in my opinion, really outdid themselves with all CD and DVD artwork for Dead Rising, especially with the Japanese copy of the game. That one is fantastic. But this soundtrack CD truly stands out. Popping the CD into a DVD player or an Xbox sadly reveals no interesting menu or anything like that. It's just a music CD. It's got 43 tracks and not much else. The case that the CD comes in is just a generic CD jewel case, but it's in a color I've never really seen before. It's this weird shade of gray. It's really pleasing actually, I don't know why. This soundtrack CD wasn't actually distributed by Capcom themselves, but instead by their merchandise or soundtrack subsidiary, Cellputer, or Soulputer as it's literally written. Apparently, Cellputer is some bizarre arrangement of Cap-Cell Computer, or Capsule Computer. But anyway, Dead Rising, being a game that wasn't really expected to be a blockbuster title, didn't end up getting a lot of merchandise. It wouldn't be until the sequels of the game where Capcom can spend a few extra dollars to release all sorts of weird loot like pens, poker sets, socks, or snow globes, or even entire zombies. When it comes to the first game, there's an extremely small amount of collectible items. Most of the stuff that will fill up your collection is just various different regions or versions of the game, or books. This soundtrack CD was really the only promotional physical item that they distributed, and, as you would expect, it was only sold in Japan. Anyhow, this is a much shorter and much simpler video than usual, but I hope you enjoyed this brief look back at, honestly, one of Capcom's best merchandise, at least for Dead Rising. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.